Hi everyone, I'm Liz and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode 28. Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you all so much for the love on the last video. I did not mean to ask people to tell me that you liked my laugh by sharing the story of the weirdo guy. It was a guy who left a comment, an older man, by his profile picture, who commented that I laughed too much. But I really appreciate all of your lovely comments. I have no plans to stop laughing or having fun. I just thought it was so strange that somehow this man had stumbled across my channel and, you know, just found it too happy. He needs like really serious cross-stitch talk, and he will not find that here. So thank you, all of you. I appreciate you. I've got a lot of fun stuff to show you. I've got a couple fully finished items that were previously stitched, and a lot of fun whips, and a little bit of plans, a little bit of haul. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first FFO I want to show you is my Prairie Schooler animal alphabet that I stitched for my nephew Andy. And today, January 24th, right? Yeah, like what day is today? Today is Andy's 3rd birthday, so I got the frame this week. I got it framed up, and as soon as I finish filming this, I'm gonna walk down the street for his birthday lunch and drop off presents. And this. Oh, I'm so happy with how it turned out. Ah! I feel like this frame is absolutely perfect, and it was such a, not a crapshoot, but you know, I ordered this frame online, you know, so I just had the online pictures to go from, measurements and everything, and I think it's so perfect. So I'll link where I got this frame from below because it was a new to me website. Craig Frames, I think, like the name Craig Frames. I think that's where I got it from, but I'll look up the order in my email and I'll link it at the description box. So this is like it's called Hunter Green. So it's like a super dark faded green black with the edges exposed to the wood. And I just thought that would match the little animals so well. The tricky thing that I found, because, okay, so this piece is only 2 inches tall by about 12 inches long. And it's really hard to find a custom cut frame, like somebody who will custom build you a frame online, smaller than 6 inches in one direction. And Craig Frames would do 4 inches in one direction. So this frame is a 4-inch by 14-inch. So I left an inch border exposed all the way around. And I think it looks lovely. I'm really excited for Andy to have this and get to hang in his room. I know he's not really going to care about it right now. You saw his reaction last week. He's like, okay. But I also got him some really fun toys, so, you know, he'll be happy to see me. I stitched this on a 28 count ivory Zweigart linen, and I used all of the called for DMC colors, although I did switch around some of the letter colors just to make it a more pleasing arrangement, since I was picking and choosing the letters I was doing. So I did change up some of those letter colors to colors that were already in the pattern. I just, you know, I wanted a little bit of a rhyme or reason to my letters. So that's the animal alphabet. Okay, so next up is something I FFO'd that has been sitting in my finishes pile since April of 2020. So almost a year. This was one of the free charts that was released as part of the Be Well and Stitch Instagram hashtag back when the pandemic first started. And so I don't know, well, I believe I showed it maybe in one of my earlier videos, my stitched piece, but I finally decided to FFO it last night. And here is what I made. Isn't that cute? This is the Satsuma Street freebie, and I'll link it below, assuming, I'm sure the link still works, but I'll link it below. And I used all of the called for DMC colors and a 32 count, I think just a cream Zweigart. I'm not sure what the base color is. It's not white, but it's just probably cream. I love it. I finished this on one of the wooden boards I got from Homestead Needleworks. And I used a piece of mat board to mount my needlework with some batting. And then I used a Lady Dot Creates rickrack. I think the color was Country Rust, maybe? Something with rust in the name. So I used the rickrack and mounted it to the board for just a little simple finish. And I tied a piece of jute to the top, and this is now going to hang right beside our back door, our garage door, where we would leave the house to just remind us, let's stay home, because this pandemic is still not over, so let's keep staying home. But I just think it's cute in general. It's very springy and bright and fun, so yeah, I'm excited to finally have this one done and be able to hang it up in my house because I love it. I did stitch. It was making me laugh last night. I was texting with my sisters, and I did stitch at the bottom April 2020. And I don't normally like add in a date or a time unless it's like called for in the chart. I don't know, I just don't do it. But I remember when I finished this one in early April, I was like, oh, I need to remember this time and you know, how weird this all was. And now it's like, how would I ever forget? Like, this has been a year of our lives. I don't think I'm gonna forget when and why I stitched this. But that's okay. It says April 2020 because that's when I finished this. I love Satsuma Street patterns. This is the first one I've ever fully stitched. I had started one of her Christmas ornaments a while back, like I'm talking like 4 or 5 years ago, that I abandoned because I wasn't liking whatever fabric I had chosen. So I have a few of her patterns, but this is the first one that I fully stitched. So cute. Love the retro 70s rainbow colors. Okay, so let's get into whips. I didn't have any other finishes this week, but I will next week. I'm getting close. The first thing I had this week was a new start. And that was on my February Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. I'm not, I guess, officially part of the SAL that Lost and Floss is hosting, but I kind of feel like I am because I am stitching along with them. I just haven't been posting anything on Instagram, so I need to do that. But Barb is doing a monthly Wordplay SAL, and it's been really fun to see people posting their updates because it's motivating me to get mine done. So let me show you. Here is where I'm at. I am stitching this on a 36 count Picture This Plus Faun with a couple of the called for colors, but mostly, well, I guess maybe half and half, my own conversion and half of the called for. And I think it's super pretty. I love how it's turning out. I'm about halfway. So I have this week to get it done and fully finished and up on my 10, which I'm very excited about. Love it. So that's my Wordplay. Okay, the next thing I worked on a little bit this week was some knitting. And I just don't have time to knit. I just want to stitch. And so like, what am I doing? But I did make a little bit of progress on my shawl, so I'll show it to you. Here is, oh, that's the back side. Here is where I'm at with my shawl. It's going to be a big long triangle. Okay, I'm going to need to watch some knit tube videos, because how on earth do you show off a work in progress knit to a camera? Okay, so this is a big long triangle shawl. It's called Drachenfels. I'll link the Ravelry pattern below. I'm using Madeline Tosh Sport Weight in 3 colors. So far I've gotten to start striping my second color, and then my third color will come at the end. But here's where I'm at so far. It's made a little bit more progress. Okay. I promise I'm not turning into a full knitter. You will only probably have to see me awkwardly hold up this until I'm done. Thumbnail. I haven't fully straightened my hair in about 3 months. I've been letting it kind of dry naturally. This is the longest my hair has ever been. It is so long. I always, well, not always, but mostly keep my hair pretty long, but I would say my normal length is like here. And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've had 1 hair appointment since the pandemic started. I went in July at some point to get my highlights and a trim. I should have just cut a bunch off because I have not wanted to go back since, and my hair grows really fast, and so it is kind of out of control long at this point. But you know, at some point I'll have, you know, the highlights and the grays. Look, you can even see the line. That's from July. You know, it's like a full 2 inches or so. What? Anyways, welcome to Hair Chat. Okay, so after I did a little bit of knitting and worked on my wordplay, I really wanted to stitch on my Consider the Lilies. I was chatting with Celeste about her progress because I know she has her goal in March, and I was like, I'm pulling mine out. I really want to work on it. I have no goal on this. It is gigantic. It's going to take me forever. But I really want to work on it. So here is the pattern. I'm sure you've seen it. Consider the Lilies. I also was really excited to see, I watched Quirks and Stitches, Jen. I watched her, was it a whip parade or was it, I don't think she did a full whip. No, it wasn't a whip parade. It was just like her January update. And she and her mom started Consider the Lilies and are stitching it together. And she was talking about doing it for this weekend, 24 hours of cross stitch. And I was watching that like while I was stitching mine, and I was like, oh, it's so exciting to see, you know, people with more progress and stuff. And it just makes me want to work on mine. So let me show you where I'm at with Consider the Lilies. I can't see the screen, so I'm just gonna assume I have it in there. Yeah, okay. Here is where I'm at on my bed sheet of a project. I just worked on filling in towards the center. I got Eve in there holding her little apple. I put in that little spotty cat or dog. And I don't know, I just did some more to fill in. I am almost halfway across that top, and oh my gosh, look how much more I have to go. There's the bottom. You can see where the border kind of goes down to the bottom, and you can see over here where the border goes to the right, to the left, I guess. It's huge. It's a big one. But that's good. I love this so much. I am stitching on 40 count Winter's Brew by R&R, which is the called for color. Yeah, Winter Brew. But I'm using 40 count instead of 28 because I didn't want mine to be an actual bedspread. So that's where I'm at on Consider the Lilies. All the called for flosses. Sorry, all the called for flosses, 40 count linen, and I love it. Okay, so after Consider the Lilies, on Wednesday, January 20th, Inauguration Day, I pulled out my Blackbird Designs Oh Joyous Day and got to stitching. This is absolutely my favorite current whip, and it's almost like I don't want to stitch too fast and have it be over. I mean, there's still plenty to do on it. It's not close to being over, but I love it so much. If you're a Blackbird fan and haven't started this one, you're going to love it. Love it. It is, the colors are gorgeous. Let me show you where I'm at. There we go. Oh Joyous Day. Hope that's all in camera. So hard with these big ones to see what I'm showing you. Yeah, so I had previously completed the whole top section of flowers, and then this week I moved down and did the big flower pot and started on the house. And I love it. 36 count Picture This Plus is just like my favorite consistency of linen. I still think I prefer like Lakeside colors better, but I just love the feel of a 36 count Picture This Plus. It's so nice to stitch on. So yeah, that's a joyous day. And I love it. I'm just going to keep working on this one. I probably, yeah, I'll probably set myself the goal to have it done by summer. So that gives me about 4 months here in Texas to have it done by May. So yeah, I don't want to set too many goals because I don't want to disappoint myself and you guys. If I say those goals out loud and you're like, oh yes, I can't wait to see. And then you're like, what happened? What happened, girl? And I'm like, I don't know, girl. I fell apart. I got distracted. But I would like this one finished. It's beautiful. I can't wait to get a frame. I actually super love the frame they used on the cover with that kind of antique pewter looking inset and the shiny like burl wood frame. So pretty. So yes, I want this one finished and hopefully soon. I mean, you know, I'm maybe a third of the way, right? The bottom section is a little bit bigger, but or it's bigger than this section. The middle section is the biggest section. So yeah, anyways, I am stitching this. Sorry, I don't even think I said, even though I was talking so much about Picture This Plus. 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. All of the called for flosses. Okay, so for my last whip that I have for you this week, I decided to try something and I don't know how successful I was. I have not edited the footage. So we're gonna find out together. If there's like, you know, a 5-second clip, you're gonna know I didn't get great footage. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I decided to try yesterday to attempt to join in with the 24 hours of cross stitch fun and see if I could do 8 hours yesterday on one piece and track my progress over those 8 hours. So what ended up happening is I got a late start and I ended up getting closer to 6 hours, not 8. But I did hourly check-ins and please enjoy my my day of stitching yesterday. Hey guys, welcome to my craft room. Ooh. I'll do a tour one of these days, but it needs to get more organized. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong spot. I don't normally just hold my camera and talk to it like this, but today I thought I would try something new. I've been seeing all of the 24 hours of cross stitch stuff happening this weekend, and I definitely don't have 24 hours to devote to stitching this weekend, but I think I might be able to get 8 hours today. It is Saturday, January 21st. Oh gosh, I don't know what day it is. Whoever knows what day it is anymore. So I also just got out of the shower, so pink cheeks. I have rosacea. Anybody else out there? Of course, there's tons of people with rosacea. Oh, this one's particularly popping off today. Oh, hi, Diego. Mm. Anyways. So I thought I would show you what I'm going to stitch on today. Yes, I know. What do you need? What do you need? Okay, so I thought I would show you what I'm going to stitch on today, and I think I'm going to do hourly progress updates to see how much progress I make today. Let me show you what I'm working on. Okay, so this angle looks weird and huge, whatever. So I'm going to work on my Tiny Treetops Rose and Thyme from the Sewing Club book, and I'm about halfway. This is the halfway point of the chart, so about halfway done. My initials will go in this spot. This cat, huh? Diego. Meow. Meow. Oh. He would really like some attention right now. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, so here's where we're starting, hour 0. I am going to show you where I'm at each hour, and we'll see how many hours I can get done today. I am starting this at like 1 p.m., so it might not be 8 hours. I have other stuff I need to do today, but we'll see what happens. So check in with you soon. Okay, hour 1 is complete, so let me show you where I'm at. Here is my progress. Put in the little bird, kept working on this little basket, did some more numbers, and extended that little border. So, hour 1. Okay, I'm back. Hour 2 is complete, and my hair is mostly dry. I'll have to straighten this later. Here's where we're at. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break for lunch, and then we'll move on to hour 3. So I completed hour 3. It is a few hours later though, because we had some lunch and watched some TV, and then I got back to stitching. So I don't think I'm gonna make 8 hours today. It's already 5:30 and I've done 3 hours. I don't think 8's happening, but I'm sure I'll probably get at least 1 or 2 more. So I'll just keep filming these and we'll see how far I get. And I don't know, maybe this is something fun to do. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm doing it. And that's what hour 3 looks like. Just finished this little basket with the bird on it and extended some of the borders. Yeah, just really worked on the borders. So I did run out of Oscar, the dark green, so I need to go find a skein from another project and pull a couple pieces, because it's not heavily used, but it's, you know, the border. So let me go, I know I have another skein somewhere, so I'm gonna go find that and get started on hour 4. Okay, I've done 4 hours so far today. Here's where I'm at. I feel like I'm making pretty good progress. I have been watching TV as I stitch, so I'm probably a little bit slower than I sometimes am. I don't know. I'm usually watching something while I stitch. But yeah, so it's 7 o'clock. So I know I'm not going to get 4 more hours on this today, but I think I will at least probably get another hour, maybe 2. So I'll continue to do these check-ins if I make more progress. All right, see you later. This is going to be my last update for tonight. I didn't keep real good track of that last hour, so I think this is I think I just completed 5.5 hours, maybe closer to 6. I'm not sure. Stitching on this a while, but didn't make it all the way to 8 hours of stitching today, but that's okay. I'll definitely get some good stitching in tomorrow. So yeah, here is where Tiny Treetops is for today. Okay, so that's my Tiny Treetops, and here's where it's at. I feel like I made really good progress yesterday. Yeah, I'm probably about 2/3 of the way done. I've got the 2 lower motifs, and then I've got to finish, the border comes to about right here and down, so I've got to finish the border and my rows of letters and numbers and 2 motifs. So I am definitely progressing on my Samplery goals. This is, I have marked down as a Samplery finish, which just means I want to get it done by the end of February. And I think that's totally doable. I'm stitching this on 36 count doubloon by Picture This Plus, and all of the called for flosses, which are, I think, all weeks. So one thing I thought about this week is, because I'm not starting a lot of things right now, even though I have things I want to start, but I'm not starting things right now. I'm trying to just stick with what I have. So I pulled out my whip list and looked at it and thought, what do I want to see on my walls first? Like, what do I really want to get done by, like the closest time? And so I kind of went through and put priority numbers next to things to remind me throughout the week when I'm looking for something to stitch, hey, you wanted these done by X date. So this is definitely a priority 1 because I want it done by the end of February, and totally doable. I just have to make sure, I give this a good 3 or 4 more days over the next month. Maybe like 4, I don't know. And it'll get done. And then a couple of the other things that are on my priority list are the Visitor by Blackberry Rabbit, the bird piece that I've been stitching. I didn't stitch any on it last week, but that's really close to a finish, and I want to get that done by the end of February so I can get it framed. And then my Oh Joyous Day, I know I want to be done by May, so I want to keep that one in heavy rotation and see how much progress I get over the upcoming months. And then I've also identified Sally Spencer, which I haven't shown you guys in a while, as one that I'd really like to get done probably by like March, April. These are just loose guidelines for myself, but I'd really like to see some of these samplers that I've started over the past year finished and framed on my wall, because they're all so pretty. And I have a sampler wall, well, it's really more of a cross stitch wall in my dining room, and I'd love to have more pieces framed and be able to play with the layout and get some more stuff up on my wall. So that's kind of the plans and what I've been thinking about lately. So I'm trying to stay focused. I am eventually going to break down and starting things again. But I don't know, it hasn't been that bad. It hasn't been like, oh, I really just need to start something, because I did start my Wordplay, and I'll probably continue to keep those going throughout the year. And so those are new starts. Of course, I finished those pretty quickly, but that's okay. But there are some samplers and some other things I want to start, and eventually I'm gonna break down and start those. So this whip list is gonna go back up instead of down, but that's okay. Okay, so the last whip that I worked on this week is quilting. I worked more on my, what am I gonna even call it? Patriotic sampler quilt? Americana sampler quilt? I guess. I need to think of a name for that, because I'm just kind of making it up as I go, with my favorite 12-inch and 6-inch blocks from either like the Moda Blockheads line, or from my Lori Holt books, or just blocks I've used and loved before. So let me show you what I did this week. Actually, before I show you, first I'll show you this. So I picked this tip up by watching approximately 15 craft room tours. for the last couple of weeks. I've been obsessed with watching people's sewing room tours, and I know I've been asked for one. Mine's so boring and basic. But eventually I'll do one. Just got to get it all cleaned up and, you know. I'm looking at the closet where I have an alpha system, so you'd think it'd be all nice and neat, but it's not. So maybe when I organize a little bit better, I'll do a craft room tour. But anyways, I think I was watching Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop's sewing room tour, which it's like a full on, like it's gigantic. And I love it. And she mentioned using these scrapbook boxes to hold finished blocks. And I was like, yes, genius. Why do I not do that? I just fold mine up and put them, oh, I don't have one near me, but you saw what I keep my fabric in when I held up the bin last week, and I would just fold my blocks and put them in that bin. But why? I can just store them flat in these. So these are Iris, which you can buy at Container Store, but they for some reason didn't have any available to ship online, so I found them on Amazon. But freaking Amazon, man, sometimes you can't just find one of what you need. So I bought 6 of these because I need, well, not need, I have quilt blocks from other projects, I think 3 or 4 to fill them up, so I'll have a couple empty for now. But or maybe, I don't know, mom or sisters, does anybody need quilt storage? So I just thought I'd mention that for any other quilters. If you want to store your blocks flat, this is pretty handy. Okay, so this week I made 4 of the 6-inch blocks. And so I did 2 little sawtooth stars. And then I did 2, no, I did 2 churn dash blocks. And then I did 2 sawtooth stars. I didn't really pick the 2 best fabrics on this one. This one's a little busy and a little not enough contrast, but that's okay. In the grand scheme of the quilt, it'll be fine. And then, oh my gosh, I love this block so much. This is the, this is from Blockheads, and it is, I think, the Corner Garden block. It's so pretty. And then I made this heart block. Oh, love it. So yeah, that's the progress I made on my blockheads this week. I think I made 1, 2, 6. That's good. That's better than my goal of like 2 or 3 a week. So I made 6 this week. I know I'm not gonna be that motivated all weeks. So, but yeah, my plan is just to keep making a few each week, and eventually I'll be able to lay out a quilt. Okay, so let's talk haul for a minute. The first chart I got is from Hello from Liz Matthews. She celebrated a year of being in business and offered a discount in her Etsy store, which was so nice. So I ran over and grabbed Quaker snowflakes. Again, Quakers, you know, I've just been a little bit obsessed. I still need to stitch one of them, but I bought the Quaker snowflakes chart, and I had already had this piece of fabric. It's not her called for, I can't remember the called for, but this is Fathom. 40 count Fathom by Picture This Plus, which is just a really pretty, I feel like that looks way more aqua than it does in person, like or teal. It's a little darker, I think, in person. Well, I don't know. But it's just a super moody blue mottled fabric. And I thought that would be so cool with white, just to do the one color version. With white on this. I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing, but I just thought this could be such a cool option. So I figured I would show you this fabric. I got this from Luminous Fiber Arts on Etsy when she had a Picture This Plus restock a while back. Okay, and then another chart I got a couple of weeks ago that I forgot to show you guys is from Stitches Through the Years. Stitches Through the Years, right? Yeah, Stitches Through the Years. And it's an Etsy shop. I'll link below. And I got this chart. I'm forgetting the name already. I'll have to look at my Etsy and I'll put the picture up on the screen with the name. But it's just a lovely little sampler, and I love it. I love the colors. I loved everything about it. So I have started kitting up colors for it. I'm doing some of the called for and a couple of my own. I have 2 pink options in here because I do love, I think it's Cinnabar, no, Pink Sand, but I also really love this red pear pink. So this is kind of what I'm itching to start. And so I've kind of been kitting up some thread for it. But we'll see. I'm not starting it now, but I've been thinking about it. I love that chart. So that's the next one I got. Okay, so this next little bit of haul is also a shout out to Evelyn at Evelyn Across the Pond. She is a brand new Flosstuber who you should all go check out. She is a grad student, PhD student. I've already forgotten. I think she's a PhD student in England, but she is from America, and she is living across the pond and working on her studies in lockdown, and started stitching like so many people did. They just picked up, you know, the stitching hobby while in lockdown. And so she has all kinds of fun projects. So anyways, if you're looking for somebody new, go check out Evelyn. She has already enabled me, so thanks, Evelyn. She, in her first video, showed this chart by Stitchrovia and her modifications that she made to it, and it was stunning and I loved it. So I ran over to Etsy, and I think this is the first Stitchrovia chart I've ever purchased. It's so cute. It reminds me a lot in spirit of the Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve piece I'm already working on, but obviously like more modern, whimsical, cutesy, but it's just like, you know, the Santa sleigh over the little town. And I love it. And I love how she used metallic threads for the like swirly whooshies, the whooshies, you know, that technical term. And I have a feeling I'll probably try to do the same thing. Although my first experience with Krynic wasn't great. So do I want to do it again? I don't know. We'll find out. But anyways, I bought the chart because I just love it. So thanks, Evelyn. Okay, so I think that's all I've got to share with you guys this week. I've got to get a move on and go run down and celebrate my little Andy, and then come back here and edit and upload. So this video is probably going up a little bit late, but you know, that's okay. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. I think this next week I'm going to be finishing up February Wordplay, and you know, I don't know. Working on whichever of these samplers calls my name. I've got my priority list. I'm going to keep that in mind. We'll see what happens. I definitely want to stitch on Winter Rose Manor this week. I didn't stitch on it at all last week and I miss it. So that's going to come out at some point, maybe today while I watch football. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.